keep climbing and keep going. You have to be focused because you can't really. Sometimes you get too caught up looking at the competition, see what they're doing, what they're doing. You have to do what you're doing. Don't care what anybody else is doing or what people say. You have to be always positive. Something negative could always turn into a positive.
The only thing that stays consistent is the grind. Keep on grinding. All right. Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today we got a very special guest. Very happy to have this fine gentleman here. In case you guys don't know, this is David from Jaxxon Jewelry Inc. So I thought it would be a great thing to get to know the man behind the jewelry. I've spoken with him a couple times in the past. Super impressed by this man's humility and kindness, and his genuine personality, and how humble he is. So I just want to get to know him a little bit. I thought you guys would like that too. So let me shut up and let David do a little bit. David do a little bit of the talking.
No, let's go.
Cool,
Um,
man.
so, what to start? Let's go in the background, of the Jaxxon Jewelry Inc. When we started here. So my dad actually came into the '80s, right? So from Cuba. So Miami Cuban. We're home of the Cubans, king of the. So this is 100% authentic as could get. So he came from the '80s. So he started the jewelry in the States like in '85, right? He partnered up with some guys with family. So in 1995 is when this thing happened. Jaxxon Jewelry Inc., the store, that where I'm at right now. So then that's where, it all started. So once he got his little, he stacked up his money, right. He actually just bought out. He said, "Oh, buy my half. I'm out. I'm gonna start my own thing." So
Okay.
then that started here, 1995, in this place right here. So then, I was in school, little guy. So so imagine I didn't know how to do anything here. So I would just look and look and look and see how I could do things. They always say, "No, it's too dangerous for you here. Get out of here." Like I was just like a rat in the shop. Just snooping around, see what I could do. So that's basically how we got started. And then obviously after high school, I was here full time, and it's been ever since I've been here. Yep.
Wow.
Your
Wow,
thoughts?
man.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's wild, bro. So did you know from when you were that young that this is what you wanted to do?
Not really, bro. Because when you're that young, you just don't. You just lost. So what I like to do was work on my hands.
Okay.
So whether it could be cars, anything. So I incorporated whatever. I would love to see something break in the house. I'll be like, I'll fix it. Yeah, That's what I would do. I wasn't that type to be in the Game Boys. Just be in the corner. I would just love to be out and about, do things, work with my hands, improve, improve, improve. So then, since you're in the jewelry business, it's really hard to be like if you don't have any family in the jewelry business, it's almost impossible to get into the jewelry business. So I'm like, let's give it a shot. So I started doing the you know, little things here and there. You always start with the worst job, which is the polishing.
Okay.
So cleaning the shop, and then you do polishing, and then little by little you get into the torch work, and then do. And since we are a pawn shop, many people don't know that, but yeah, we are a pawn shop, licensed, insured, and everything. Since 1995, we had a lot of scrap laying around, which a lot of shops don't have that. So I would get rings that are junk, resize them for no reason, just to learn. I just cut into it, solder it, mess it up because at that age, such a young age, 12, 13 years old, you have no clue what you're doing. They don't want to teach you either because he's like, he's just another young guy that just wants to. He's never, they're like, he's not gonna. But at the age of 14, 15, I got my practice was there. And the little hours I would get here because I would leave school at 2 or 3. I would be here till 6, 7. So I only had 2 or 3 hours of practice, every day. So when they're like, oh, this guy is, dedicated. So around 15, they got me, I was serious. They're like, oh, okay, he's serious now. So then I would get into more in depth, more how to do things, and deeper fabrications, modifications, and stuff like that. And they're like, they're like impressed. Like, what the hell is this little kid doing? So then that's little
That
by
is
little you kind of have to show you have to show you don't you can't just earn respect just because you're the son of this the guy, the founder of this. You have to show them I could be as good or even better than the jewelers that I had at the time, the old guys that we had at the time. So it was always really cool doing that, yeah, since the early age. Hmm.
Man, that is awesome, bro. That's so you've had your hands dirty since you were a little kid, and you've
Hmm.
learned you've learned the trade from back when you were really young.
Yeah, from scratch, yeah. Hmm.
That's incredible, bro. So now is your stuff fully handmade? Everything in your shop? Well, for the most part, I know the watches and stuff like that, but is all the jewelry handmade for the most part, or
Some stuff like, for example, this piece here, right? You've seen this guy, right, laying around in
yeah,
the. So this thing you'd have to, back in the days it was more difficult. Now it's a little bit easier. We have the, technology of computer and CAD assistance, computer aid. So now it's a little bit easier as far as molding and how sculpturing goes. Because before we would have to have a block of wax and carve this. If I want to make this task, I would have to carve it and take, spend 4 or 5 hours doing this, you know, versus, doing it in the computer. I could probably do this in half the time and it'll look cleaner once it's printed out. If you have the state of the art equipment, we have expensive printers that print out the waxes and all that. Each printer is about 80,000. We have four of those, and then we have the little ones that are like 35,000 if you want to do like a little quick, a little quick thing. But stuff like this, to get a high volume in production, you need a lot of printers and a lot of casting machines. So this is actually producing it starts off in the computer, then it goes into casting, and then we just finish it by hand. And this guy here was hand painted, so this guy took some some hours to get all the details painted and all that. So I don't do the paint work here, but we do have one of the best to do the all this stuff. We don't do this in house, but we have the best to do everything. Yeah, but we do
that's
do yeah, we do the goldsmith here, all the diamond setting, all this crazy ideas and spinning and all that. But yeah, stuff like the Cubans, like we could do rings, we could do Cubans by hand. So stuff like this, all this stuff is done by hand. You know, all
beautiful.
this, yeah, this is all done by hand, all the way to the lock. We don't do the castings of these locks. A lot of people do this to cut corners. They do the locks by casting. We do everything by hand here. So this takes a little bit more effort to do, but in my eyes, I think if you're spending this much money, what's a couple $100 more to get something to seal off the deal with a handmade box lock that clicks, that won't lose tension as quick as a casted lock will. All these diamonds that we do are hand set, so they start off polished, and then we drill the holes. Some people do the shortcuts where they actually cast this with the holes already done, and it's just easier. I just like to do the you know do everything how it's supposed to. I
Right.
mean, it's gonna be worth it in the end because you're getting the value here. Some people don't see the value here, but I sure do. And a lot of people, I mean, obviously we have a big following, so a lot of people do appreciate that. And there's always going to be that one guy, that why are you, why are you a couple bucks more gram than this guy? And we have to try to convince them. I go, I don't know, this day and age, I don't know. People still, have to be convinced of why our stuff, why is the different prices? Why does, the different weights, and how does handmade works? What is handmade? Um, because I seen a lot of horrendous things here going through my shop that I have to melt in my torch and redo because of those people that are like we call them the per gram people. So those per
Right.
gram, they try to shop the last buck, and then sometimes it just ends in you have to pay double labor. Now you have to buy the piece, pay them to do it, and then you have to get someone else to fix it, either it's with me or anybody else they choose. But Man, it's the jewelry game is horrible. If you don't have the background to show for it, I feel sorry for these guys, man. It's hard.
That's
Hmm.
crazy. Yeah, you're paying double at the end of the day to get it fixed.
Yeah.
You're paying even extra. If you don't just go with quality up front and you're just
Yeah.
looking for the quantity, forget it.
Uh-huh.
That
And
is crazy,
some
man.
people, it is all right to shop for you know what I'm saying, but don't go nitpicking. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
Like if you're gonna be doing the program game, don't be nitpicking at the end what you get. You know, if you're
right,
gonna be you know, value and quality, you know, because we're not the most expensive out there. There's a lot of people that are way more expensive and have lower quality because they outsource it, you know, or they have a bigger brand or something, you know. But it's crazy that people be paying sometimes a premium of 50 or 60% more than what we charge and getting less quality because people don't do their homework.
right.
And then there's the other people, the program people, that will go and buy something cheap and then end up getting something cheap, you know. So it's kind of tricky out there, you know. Sometimes not even if you pay more, it doesn't necessarily mean, oh, I'm gonna get quality,
Right,
you know. Oh, they have to do your homework, you know. Where it's
right.
it's 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 you have to do the homework, trust your jeweler, whether it's with me or anybody else, you know. You have to trust the, you know, the reviews. You have to look at the background, see what they, you know, because of the reviews, and that shows a lot. Like if you interact with people, respond to people like on comments or reviews, you know, it shows that you know, at some level that you actually care. You know, there's some people that I see there, they just do a video, let's say on YouTube, good or bad, and they just don't even care to comment. You know, I always, you see me always, if it's Danny Jury, I'm always there commenting, negative or positive. I'm always there. You know, if there's a
Right.
problem fixed, it's gonna be fixed, 100% guaranteed. If it's something that they're happy with, I say, you know, God bless. You know, thank you for your support, and and we continue on with our day. You know,
Yeah,
that's what it's about.
that's it. Yeah,
Mhm.
you take pride in what you do, and that's great,
Yeah,
man. I mean, you've been doing this for a long time. Why shouldn't you take pride in it?
yeah.
Absolutely.
Hmm.
That's awesome, man. So I feel like I might know the answer to this, but I want to hear you tell me. What's the hardest part about the job that you do?
The hardest part in what sense? Be
It
more. I mean,
so I know because of what you just told me that you love to get your hands dirty, you love to be in the
yeah,
work, you like to make things the way you like to make them and fix problems.
yeah.
A lot of people when they're working, there's a hardest part of their job. So like for example, I might, I don't know, if I was doing your work, maybe I would hate the soldering or maybe I would hate this or hate that or maybe it would be dealing with customers who are nitpicky, something along
Yeah,
those lines.
I, I would. Okay, like in general, then, like if you were to ask me what's the hardest part of making a chain, that's the part that everybody hates is the filing. The filing is like a workout. Just, you
Okay.
know, stay there for hours. Now the front side, yes, 100% agree with you. The customers is the most hardest thing to deal with. Point blank. There's gonna be there's a lot of beautiful people out there. They do exist, but there is those people that just ruin your day sometimes.
Right.
You could have let's say 1,000 positive comments, right? That one guy that would say something is like, you know what I'm saying? There's always that one guy. So that one
Right.
guy's, but you know, you suck. Let's say they say you suck. It's like, man, what did I do to this guy? You know, and you wanna like, why, you know, why is he singling this out? You want to like fix the problem. Like, why is it me? What did I do? You know, it's but in the retail business, that's always going to be, you know, in the selling part, when it's a chain, it's actually easier to sell because, you know, online we show videos. Thank God there's tons and hundreds of people reviewing their stuff. They're like, oh, look at my Danny Jury, my 7 millimeter, my 10 millimeter, whatever they say the length. So there's people, if you just type in whatever you want, there's going to be someone there that reviewed it already. So the
Right.
hardest thing would be pendants, right?
Okay.
Pendants, there's millions of ideas. I could make this Taz right here 1,000 different ways, you know,
Right.
1,000 different ways. We can make it like, for example, we could make it flat, let's say, like a more economic, no, you know, lower diamonds, less diamonds, or maybe make it pop out 3Ds, have it curved, with a solid bag. Some people don't have the budget; they'll do a gallery bag.
Right.
In that sense, it is very hard because I could sit there on the phone with somebody for an hour easy. I
Right.
don't know what I want. I want this, but I don't have that budget for what I want. It's like like it's very hard to deal with that, and I'm trying to do that and try to fabricate and try to run a business, and there's people that just want to sit there and just hear you talk, and
Right.
sometimes it's like, okay, I'll call you back later. It's like, okay, you just spend 1 hour doing nothing, but I always appreciate everybody, everybody that gives us a call. We have a team, that would be great to answer questions, customizations. But I think I posted it the other day. I said the easy part is making the jewelry. I
Yeah.
posted it the other day. I said the hardest part is, what do you want? What do you want? If you could decide on what you want, everything will go so smooth. But that's in the perfect world, and we don't, unfortunately, that's
Right.
we're nowhere near that perfect world yet. But yeah,
I,
but yeah,
I'm telling you, man, I could only imagine because before I asked you the question, I had a
yeah,
feeling that's what it was.
yeah,
And bro, I get so many DMs. I mean, I don't make jewelry. I just have the
yeah,
channel, right? But I get
yeah,
so many DMs. What do you think would be good on me? I'm this height, this weight. My budget is this, and I'm like,
yeah.
bro,
You're
I'm not, yeah, like mind blown. I'm getting
yeah,
like 50 inboxes a day. Oh, I'm this size. Like, I can only imagine you spending that time, man.
yeah, man. It's crazy, man. But I mean, I understand them because it is thousands and thousands of. I mean, not
Yeah.
maybe not because you're not making a penny off of it. You're just doing content. You're not, but we do have to sit there and try to walk. We try to do the best we can to walk them. From when to start to end, and it doesn't end there. If there's anything post sales there's a problem, we're always going to be there. Some
Right.
people just sales, it ended there. They're just businessmen. We at least try. We do everything from point A to sales to post sales. Even if it's a year, 5 years down the line, we're always here to help.
Yeah.
But it
Yeah.
is a.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. The
No,
the,
no,
the
I'm saying,
delay. Yeah.
no, I'm saying that, yeah, that is a very time consuming process. Sometimes, reasons because of that, you see me leaving at 10 at night, 10:30 at night, trying to answer people's questions, and then I have a schedule of, oh, I have to finish this guy's product at this day, and that guy has to, that guy's leaving, or this guy has a birthday, he has to, we have to finish his chain on time. This guy, and it's just a thousand things at once. But
Right.
thank God we have a big enough team to get everything, kind of and then in the COVID times, when no one expected to go sales to skyrocket, and I had my same staff, everything was like we couldn't keep up with demand. So people were like, why, people always have something to say, oh, they can't answer the phone, this, or I mean, or answer emails, or do this, do that. We have, the same amount of people. It's just that the demand just climbed up, and it was hit unexpected for anybody. But now, thank God, we have double the staff. We have everything that we could sort any type of issues, that we could do it in a timely manner now. So that, thank God for that.
That
hmm
is that is crazy. You actually had to get double the staff, bro. I mean, good for you. That's
Yeah.
fantastic. You're taking care of the customer, you're taking care of the people working for you, and you're getting stuff done when you need it done, and that's fantastic. I mean, so happy to hear it, man. So how many guys you got doing the work? I'm just curious.
Have a lot of people like doing like jewelry bench work. I have 30 plus. It's always like plus or minus because we have, this guy is leaving for this, but it's always gonna be 30 to 35 heads as just metalsmith, and about 8 to 10 setters. That's our rate right now. And then that's just jewelry. That's in the back end. You don't see those guys. You
Right,
never see, in the front line. You'll see 8 to 10 people trying to sell, or people you text, like if you have a question,
right,
um, with the shipping department, the texting, the face-to-face contact here, with 10 to 15 before I had what, like 5 or 6, it was crazy. You couldn't deal all the phone calls, all the emails, and the DMs, and hey, I want to buy this, or where's my item?
right.
this it's like crazy. You tell them it takes X amount of weeks. You're off by a day. You're like, what happened? Are you gonna send me the thing or not? And I understand that because you spend so much money. You're waiting this whole time. You're kind of like they're counting down the calendar. Like
Right, right.
people are
Yeah.
there.
That is,
So that's
yeah.
fun.
You spend that money and you're waiting to see that product, and you got to hold yourself back from texting
Yeah,
every 5 minutes. It's like
yeah,
I can only imagine. But that's why I'm so happy to be able to get you on camera. I'm so grateful that you gave us the time because now we can kind of see it from your end in case
mhm,
people don't know what goes on behind the scenes because they're not seeing it. They're just seeing this beautiful piece of jewelry
yeah,
sent to them and they spend their money and they get what they get, but there's a whole process behind this
yeah.
stuff, and it's amazing.
Definitely. No, it's a long process from start to finish, from getting the gold, uh, refine. If we don't, because sometimes we do, since we are a pawn shop, we could refine scrap metal, refine it into pure gold, and then get it into whatever piece of jewelry you're trying to get. You don't just get scrap jewelry and melt it into a chain or into a ring or something. You have to. There's a process. People don't understand that sometimes. You have to go from scrap to refine it to 24 karat, then go back down to whatever 14, 10 karat, 18 karat, and then we could buy from refineries at 24 karat, either if it's locally or overseas. We get it from all over the place because sometimes if the local refinery doesn't have, we have to go overseas. We have to
Mm,
go to Italy or buy it from wherever, New York, where you're from. There's also the South America. We get gold from there as well. So
right.
wherever we get it, and especially in the COVID times, there was no supply. Everything was skyrocketing up. Nobody was selling anything. So, and we stayed open because we were a pawnbroker, because we were a pawn shop. Many jewelry stores took a hit because they have to close those 4 or 6 months.
Yeah.
The pawnbroker license is an essential business. I was an essential business, so we were able to work through it. So many people had to stop their orders. Like, let's say you had orders XYZ and you had to deliver it, like 3 4 weeks. You couldn't deliver. You had to stop, shut down. We never closed down because of the pawnbroking and all that stuff. So we're here to help people in those times. So if you lost your job, whatever happened, we were here to pawn, but it so awkwardly turned its way around because the government helped everybody and everything just went skyrocket. But good thing. And at that time too, we had jewelers from like the mall. We had jewelers from the buildings. We had jewelers from anywhere, like mall strips, like anything like that, calling us because we need work. We need work. We lost our job. I said, come here. We're not closed at all. Come here. So I feel in the COVID time we had a lot of jewelers at the time,
Wow.
but yeah, that was great. So we gave more work to people that lost their job. So we actually helped out at least the local jewelers around here. I helped them out. I brought them in, and then as soon as the malls or whatever the shopping strips open, I said, "Yeah, you can go back to your job, no harm, no foul." Just to help them out because we had work and they didn't have work. So we helped them out and all that stuff. So it's always good to help out, any way we can.
Yeah.
So always a good thing. So yeah.
That is crazy. I had no idea that having that license was considered essential, but now the way you put it, it makes sense. You lose your job, God forbid, something happens to you, you need money. That's an
Mm-hmm.
essential thing. I mean,
Yeah.
you can die. You won't
Yeah.
survive.
Yeah, we're like a mini bank. So if you have, let's say you don't have anything in your bank account, but you have, this watch or this chain that you bought, this watch that you bought when you're doing okay, you have, money to provide for your family, and do that type of thing, to get for food, gas, and whatever you had to do to rent. The rent was a
Right.
big issue. You know, so yeah, it was a good thing that we have that license. We never stopped, and we never had to tell anybody, "No, here's your money back. We can't do it because we're closed." So that was a good thing for everybody. It worked out. It worked for everybody.
That's amazing, man. Um, that's incredible. So I'm curious, what's your favorite part about the work? I don't think we touched on that. I know you like fixing stuff. I know you like making stuff. What's your
Yeah,
favorite part about the work you do?
I mean everything since we're already established business, I kind of do the same repetitive thing over and over again. So I'm over that, the whole soldering the links, twisting. Yeah, great. You see tons of video. We do that every single day. Been there, done that. So the what wakes me up every, like what I look forward to is like when someone walks in with a random idea. Hey, David, I have this idea. I want to make this pendant. Look at this sketch I did. That's how kind of like these things like Taz and or car pendants, or these, the pendants with predators that open their, how that's how they come to life, because someone just, hey, I have this. Can you make it? Of course I can make it. And then if if someone says, hey, you have freedom of design, that's the best thing. And when you're not, when they trust your work and stuff like that, I'm like, all for it. Let's go for it. That's if I know you at a personal level. Sometimes when you don't know someone on a personal level and they say you could do whatever you want, I feel kind of like, I feel excited because I want to do whatever I want, because but then I have to think of, oh, there's this budget, there's this, there's that, there's many things that I have to to put into play to get something to happen. And then if I don't know enough about you, then I cannot make something, in my mind, I cannot make something that I think, I might like it and love it, but maybe you won't like it and love it. So then, as some people, I explain that to them. I go, look, I love that you give me the freedom to do whatever I want, but I cannot do that. I cannot do that, because what if I spend the time to do this crazy idea and then you say, nah, I don't like it, But if
Right.
if I know you and I know your style and I know how you are, and I'll be like, yeah, let's do it. Sometimes I have enough time at least to spend with like celebrities or anything, things like that. And that their life is pretty much, even if you don't know them in a personal level, you know them in a personal level. Their information is out there. So I'm like, yeah, let's do this, let's do that. You did this in the album. You talked about this. Let's do that. So then I just make ideas, and it's easier to do something like that for a celebrity or someone that's out there, or I know them personally, than someone that say, yeah, here, just do whatever you want with it. It's like, I wouldn't, because that has happened before. And, they say, hey, do this. And people love, like, I would show it around the room. I'll be like, what do you think? I think this will look cool. I'll tell my wife, or I'll tell, look what this, you think it looks cool? Do you think, would you like it? I ask them, for opinions, like, would you like this? Because this is awesome, bro. I never seen this. This is beautiful. And then when they see it, they're like, ah, that's not my style. I'm more tone it down about tone it down a little bit, And it's like, ugh,
Oh,
because when you're trying to envision something, you sometimes want to go all the way. You just want to go and not stop. But sometimes you gotta get out of that cloud sometimes and be like, yeah, you have to do,
yeah.
yeah,
I know, I know what you mean, man.
yeah,
I messed up once. So, I mean, I messed up once. It had nothing to do with jewelry. It's actually a
yeah.
little bit, I'll say it's worse, but I guess it could be worse than even this. I
Tattoo.
told my artist, yeah, yeah, bro. He did the face, and he said, "All right, so what do you want around it?" I said, "Man, the face is amazing. Do whatever you want." And all of a sudden, I got all of this, and I'm
All
like,
this scribble scrap. Yeah.
yeah, man. But no, that's cool. That's cool.
At
It's
least, at least they can melt it and redo it. That you're kind of stuck with it.
you're stuck with it. I saw him, and I'm like, all right, let me just look away because let him finish.
Let it
But
finish.
yeah, man. But no, that's something good for everybody to keep in mind. Everybody, it sounds from what we've gotten so far, the best thing you can do for yourself is know what you want. And
Research.
yeah, do your research, know what you want, know the materials, know the price point, and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So stuff like this doesn't happen. And don't get tattoos without thinking about what you want first.
Yeah, man. Yeah, because the funniest thing would be like, some if someone would say, I want a 3-inch pendant, I want it 2 inches wide, and they give you like this thing, like, okay, this guy's like about his business, and then you do the numbers, and it's like, okay, what can I get for 1,000? It's like, oh
Right,
crap. You know what I'm
right.
saying? That happens a lot, man.
Rip it up. Start up the
Yeah.
next
It just started with the, let me see what I get for 1,000. This is what I want. Sometimes it.
right.
Mhm.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. All right, cool, man. That you change about the business, or is there anything you're working towards changing? Like maybe something you can't change about the business that you would, or is there something you're working towards changing?
As far as that, I don't see what else can I do because I can't complain with my staff. We're doing an excellent job here, doing from what we just described from going from point A to point B. We're going smoothly. It's just basically is just moving forward. Is just try to get more. If we can't meet demands, get bigger and bigger and bigger. That's all we could hope for. I mean, that's in anybody's business. Just get more successful, more successful.
Right.
You know,
That
that's
makes
pretty.
sense.
So there's not really I wouldn't change anything really in that sense because members we've been here since 1995, so we had all the every experience that you would think that could happen in a business that's already happened. So something happens, you fix it. Something happens, you fix it. Something happens, you fix it. So that's the only the just try to hope for the best and keep climbing and keep going. Do you have to be focused because you can't really sometimes you get too caught up looking at the competition, see what they're doing. You have to do what you're doing. Don't care what anybody else is doing or what people say. You just keep doing, and if you're doing it right, they're gonna, customers are gonna like that. And
Man,
they're
that's the
Mhm.
best answer, bro, that you could have given, man. That's it. That's what I'm talking about. Just focus on what you're doing and move forward. Don't worry about the competition. Wish them well. Do
Yeah,
what you do best. Yeah, do it.
keep going.
There's
Yeah,
plenty of money to go around. You
there
buy a
is.
little from here, buy a little from here.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Cool, cool, very cool. So, what do you feel sets you apart from everybody else who does similar work?
Yeah, the bro, I kill everybody gets killed with the locks. I can't like in it just said over and over and over again because a lot of people could kind of like make the links look very similar to ours, but then if you go nitpicking and look into the craft, besides the lock, if you look into the craft, you see there's gonna be some slag here of like wells or or that hang straight test, if it's supposed to lay straight or if it's supposed to lay flat like this. There's a lot of different variations, but when it comes down to the lock, forget about it. The click from our thing is like clack, it's like it's like you can't get that anywhere else because it's made by hand. And then
Right,
we have the most options in customizing your lock. So we were the first ones to do everybody did engraving, right? We were the first ones to offer raised lettering, diamonds on the raised lettering. Then it was the sleek lock. And then add diamonds to the sleek lock, add diamonds to the box lock. What do you want to do here? You want to put emeralds? You want to put a Rolex crown? You want to put the button to be a Rolex crown? You want to do your logo as a button? I could, do everything. I've seen horrible, like I've seen imitations of like the Rolex crown. I have pictures. I'll have to show you that. There's, there's like I don't even think it's a Rolex crown, to be honest. It looks like a melted something, and there's a
right,
lot of that just try to do, try to imitate us and try to do, that name Sleek Lock, I came up with it. The
right,
Sleek, that was not an existing thing. The word
right,
Sleek Lock, I made it up. I said, this is the Sleek Lock, and this is what it's gonna be called. Everybody in their mother calls if it's a Sleek Lock, unless a sleek lock, a sleek lock, unless it's those people, that call it something different. But 90% of the people, that's what they call it, sleek lock. And then people imitate us again. They will put it, you see the little updates on the website. Oh, we offer raised lettering now. We do
right.
this, and it just doesn't. I've seen their work, man. I've seen what they're doing, and like you said, wish them well and keep. And
Right. Yeah, you just stay the course, man. Yeah, you keep your eyes focused on what you're doing.
I'll show you something. Look. All right. As far as the like customization, like this is the chain that they bring into like to melt and do over stuff like that. This is close to what we do, but I don't know if you can see it. Like in the edges, it just has like shots. Tup, 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 tup. It has like a lot of like laser marks,
Yeah.
which
Yep.
is not the correct way of doing this. But, people accept this, and they don't know any better. And it's not a like I said, the links could be very close, but the lock is what we kill them at because they don't spend that extra time. The those extra few 30 minutes, an hour that you dedicate to a chain extra, you
Right.
want to, because when you do, count, in a week, the man hours, it adds up. We do spend more time. Our wait times are more than the average person, than the average company. So that's where the facts are. Like, you want something quality, or you want, quantity. That's,
Right.
you do your, weigh it out. That's
Yeah.
basically. Hmm. That was just an
Yeah.
example, but yeah. But there's tons of things that, that tons of stories that we're not gonna have enough time to talk about today. That, about quality. When we ship out something, is recheck. We recheck. It takes, we spend a lot of time doing. Make sure the locks are not defective. Not ship something out if it doesn't click. The little latches, or because the worst thing is to send you something with a defective lock. You spend some, thousands of dollars, and then I lost it. It's like
Yep.
everything is held on by, by that thing there. So it's like, I tell the customers, I go, it's thousands of dollars you're spending, and then the crucial thing that they're not focusing on is that lock that we spend so much time on, and then just like, I don't care, I'm saving $500. Like, what?
Right.
Okay, you're gonna end up losing $5,000 if we're not spending $500. But that's just the way, the mentality of some people work. But you can't
Yeah.
stop.
No, yeah, like you said, man, it's just the mentality. You can't teach some things.
Yeah, some you can't, like what they say, you can't teach old dogs new tricks. So
That's it.
sometimes they're set at one thing, and no matter what you tell them, it's nope, nope, no, I'm not buying it, nope.
Right.
Yeah, man.
That's it, man.
Aside from the handmade things, there's also like Italian stuff. We sell a lot. This is like the best seller of all the ropes, the 3 millimeter rope chain. We have,
Wow.
stock. So this is the 3 millimeter. These are actually, imported from Peru. Overseas, we work a lot with Italy, with some links that they specialize, and then, the Peru links that everybody loves. Um, these are the 4 millimeter rope chains that we have a ton of, stuff. So
Beautiful. Yeah, love the four, man.
the
Beautiful.
yeah, the 3 and 4s are the best sellers right now. Is, affordable. They don't look, they don't look gaudy. They don't look too big. They don't look too small. You've seen
Right.
these on YouTube. These are very, very hot right now. And then, obviously there's the two-tone, the prisms and stuff, that, there's new things, new ideas that come out. The two-tone, the prism cuts and this and that, and everything will circle back around. You'll see that everyone doesn't want that anymore. They want the regular rope, no diamond cut.
Right.
Like, full, everything is, fashion is just crazy, man.
Oh, no, you're absolutely right. Yeah, everything comes back to classic though. That's just
Yeah,
what happens. That's why
exactly.
so that's why so many people are afraid to kind of like deviate from it. There's a lot
Yeah.
of people out there who don't want to go away from classic because everything else is kind of just a fad, but it makes
Yeah.
sense,
Mhm.
You got to weigh your options.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
Cool, man. So the next question I have, it's second to last, is what's your personal favorite type of jewelry?
My personal, I just like the creativity, like something that no one has. That's what I like. Just
Okay.
conversation pieces. That's what I like to, that's what I like to wear, because I'm here every single day. So I see every single jewelry piece that you could imagine. But
Right.
then when there's that one cool thing, you just stick by it, whether it's whatever it is, a cartoon pendant or a realistic, type of sculptures, which are extremely hard to make, by the way. Like, if you do the sculptures, face or whatever it could be, the enamels that, we're pushing out now, the any type, or spinning rings, something that's different. That's what
Right.
I like. Creativity is, I just like the craft. That's basically it. Because in the end of the day, is a hunk of metal is just what you shape it into. You know what I'm saying? Is whatever you shape it into is what makes it, whoa, makes it look cool. Because anybody could say, I have this in gold, but I could have the same amount of gold and make it just 10 times cooler. Just the way you shape it and mold it, whatever it is.
Right.
That's just
Yeah.
creativity.
That's an
Sometimes,
artist mentality.
Sometimes you just wake up in the middle, like like these people, like these crazy, they used to read about this, but it's true. Like sometimes you just wake up in the middle of the night. I'm like, I'm working on this piece, but I have to write this down. Like I can't forget this idea. I have to incorporate it tomorrow when I go to work. I have to. And you see my notes. I have like scribble scrabbles everywhere. The notes that I only can understand because you're gonna. I
Right.
do like things and outlines and drawings. So if I'm like I'm doing this. I'm like, let me do this so I can make it better or I'll make it cooler, stuff, things like that. To the people that actually allow me to, I actually like, the creativity, the freedom. Not like the guy with the tattoo, but but stuff like that. I do enjoy it. To just that's I look forward to all that every day. Yeah.
That's
Mhm.
cool, man. Yeah, that's you. You're reminding me of. I mean, I should have realized this earlier, but you're an artist. You're in art. That's what you're doing. And when you talk to writers, when you talk to art, like painting artists or writers, any type of creativity based work, that's
Mhm.
it. They wake up in the night. They got the scribbles.
Yeah.
Yeah, same thing, man. No, that's fantastic. It's great to hear, bro. You're so passionate about your work, and I
Yeah.
think that's what sets you apart from a lot of people because a lot of people is just cut and paste, cut and paste. You're
Yeah.
looking to improve, move things forward, improve on the customization. It's fantastic.
Yeah. Mhm.
Cool, man. So last question before I let you get to your family or more work, whatever you got to do, is what would you be doing if you weren't doing this job?
That's a good question. Like I mentioned earlier, like I always like doing something with my hands, so it has to be something with my hands. So if I could tell you one thing that I would like other than jewelry would be cars. I don't know if you've seen the posts and stuff. I like those old cars, classic cars, stuff like that. That just it's an art in my eyes to see the lines, how do they envision all those curvy lines, how they do. I always like the art of that body work.
Right.
um More the body work, the mechanics is not really the art part. The body work is the art part, like modifications and how do you make this and the paintings and um cutting a roof off and putting it down and doing the glass work, the custom and the etching on the bumpers or metal etching and hand engravings. That stuff sets me off, man. The anything that has to do with hand, but the cars for sure. I always like to collect. Since a little kid, my first car is a 1952 Ford F1. If nobody knows that, I did not have like a car to go to school in, like to high school. I was 14 years old. I saved up all this money, and then they're like, "Why are you in this old rusted thing?" It's like, you see a rusted thing. I don't. I see a beautiful car. So then, 6 months, 8 months later goes down, transformed car. That's what I like to see, from something that looked like this turn into something beautiful. So it's like, oh, that's what you're doing. So it's a beautiful red, shiny car with white wall tires, chrome, the shiny, the wood flooring on the bed. That's just, yeah. I'm just trying. I envy Jay Leno.
Oh,
that,
forget it. Wow. Yeah, you
that,
are not kidding. That's a collection you can't forget, man.
yeah. Man. So yeah. Ever since small, man, since high school, I've been the crazy kid. I didn't have a daily driver, but I always had a project car. So
Right.
So people and the normal person does not understand it. They would not comprehend it. And I thank Lord that I'm not a normal person. I'm something different. And
Right.
that's what sets me, I guess, apart from the regular student or the regular person or the human being in general.
Right.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah. No,
So
I absolutely believe, man. You're a unique individual. You love what I two things that I've gotten out of this is number one, no matter what you'd be doing in your life, you'd be working with some kind of metal.
yeah.
That's the first thing. And then the second thing I got out of this is you are in the right business. So even if you love working on cars, you're in the right business here. You're improving other people's lives. You're doing your thing. You're pushing the envelope when it comes to custom stuff. And to see the joy that you're brought when other people are coming to you for your help with their
Mhm.
life is it's phenomenal, man. So I mean, keep doing what you're doing, bro. Fantastic, and
Uh,
it's great to see you're happy with it.
yeah, man. Always, man. Always.
Yeah, yeah, man.
They always say, like, in my family, you never see the negative in anything, which is true. The world could be like falling apart, and I'll be like, yeah, but then you see the that rainbow all the way over there that no one saw. That's what I am. So that's
Right,
what I do. So you could have everybody has problems, bro, and everybody has problems. You could feel sorry about yourself. You could do whatever you want. If you're gonna feel that way, negative, if you think negative, there's a message for everything in general. If you feel negative in general, you're not gonna have something to boost, or have someone that could kind of comfort you, have someone to talk to you. That's life. So if you're gonna be negative in anything you do, you're gonna be a grouch, man. It's like you're not gonna be anything in life. You have to be always positive. Something negative could always turn into a positive. So if this didn't work out, not to do that again. If you step foot into lava, don't step foot again into the lava. You're gonna get burned. So step foot over here, and then find what your calling is, and and do what you're supposed to do in life. Not, always be positive, be friendly to others. Everybody, if you pay respect to others, they'll have respect for you. And just don't, yeah, you can't still feel sorry for yourself. You're not gonna, you know,
right,
if you don't care about yourself, no one's gonna care for you, man.
right. Yeah,
Hmm.
man. I agree 100%. Thank you,
Yeah.
thank you. Those are some inspiring words. I hope everybody who's watching, I hope you all are inspired by this conversation. That's what it was about. It was about getting you to know the man behind the work.
Hmm.
And that's again what sets this gentleman apart from everybody else. Everybody, not to say everybody else is bad, but everybody
Hmm.
is unique, everybody is individual, everybody has something to offer. So
Right.
David, thank you so much, man, for spending the time with us, with all of us, and really look forward to talking to you again soon. It's always a privilege. If anybody is interested in case you don't know about Daniel Jewelry Inc., even though you probably do, um, check out the link in the description. We're going to have his website in there. You can look at his stuff. We're going to link to his Instagram too. Thank you so much, man. I hope you enjoy the rest of your night. It's been a privilege.
All right, man. You too, brother. The king
All
of the
right.
Cube from Miami, 305. The
That's
king.
it.
That's what we do, baby.
No doubt.
305
Thank you,
Miami.
man.
All right,
Talk
bye.
soon, man. All right.